Talking about.
Remy Ma has finally spoke and said, this Jasmine go.
I haven't cheated on nobody, so I don't know what y'all talking about.
One more time.
I haven't cheated on nobody, so I don't know what y'all talking about.
Well, at least she said.
How you feel about the situation between Papoose and Remy Ma?
They both cool with me. Like, I knew Papoose for years, over 15 years. Knew Remy for over 15 years. So I just wish them.
I told y'all that Remy Ma and Papoose are done. I told y'all that Papoose put hands on that little boy she messing with. Because that's a
Remy, I know you ain't this corny. Remy, you must need blood if you say he your type.
Like, oh my God, I hope they don't find out about this, because you know it's a pass.
Is very crazy, you know? Remember to activate the notification bell and subscribe to our channel before we begin so that you can receive future updates. Like this one. Once upon a time, Papoose and Remy Ma embodied black. Love in its purest form, inspiring us to believe in fairy tales. Papoose was like a movie character, supporting and complimenting his wife to anybody who would listen as she served 6 years in prison. In fact, he married her while she was still behind bars. Papoose made it apparent that Remy Ma was his queen whenever he performed live or in an interview.
Can we even talk about the whole easy to Papoose now that he don't talk as much as they talked on the stage? Yes.
His service, the blogs have passed a very, very reputable source that Papoose and this guy got into a real bad where he almost knocked out the teeth that should have fell out. It was falling out on this guy because his teeth was really bad.
Everybody wins with the family feuds. Don't ask me no questions about Remy and Papoose.
You heard it. Why you asking me questions?
How many times? I'm not asking you about that. I just want to know how many times have people asked you about that when you had to put that in the song?
A lot. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes, family, friends, this, that. And I can't tell you. Don't ask no questions about Remy and Papoose. It's real. Plus, I don't know nothing.
You don't know nothing because you don't ask?
No, I just don't know nothing.
I like talking about fighting. Sometimes people be needing hands put on them, though. And I love boxing. It's one of my favorite sports. I just never could do it. Because it goes right back into that other category when I was telling y'all. As soon as I feel like you get one hit, I'm glad I had. Sometimes people be needing hands put on them, though. And I love boxing. It's one of my favorite sports.
It's alleged that Rema and the battle rapper get along well. The claims that Remy Ma cheated on Papoose have been going around for months, and trust me, they are serious. However, the note didn't exactly persuade the internet, which was already looking at every post and looking for clues in every word. It was only a matter of time until everything went viral.
That sometimes people need to fight it out. Because talking doesn't do it. Sometimes you can talk. Like in this certain situations, you could talk to a person, you express how you feel, they express how they feel, and y'all come to a mutual agreement that y'all either don't agree or, you might start seeing it from another person's point of view. When it gets to the level, or when you deal with people that, like, sometimes how I used to be, I don't even want to hear that. I don't give a fuck how you felt. I don't care what you thought. What's up? What we doing?
This is what you call business managing, and it got even juicier after a well-publicized altercation. Let's be honest, the controversy wasn't benefiting anyone. And Remy Ma was criticized for having too much contact with Papoose's wife. At an industry gathering, Papoose and Remy Ma eventually crossed paths, and let's just say that things didn't work out. According to reports, the two began arguing, and Papoose chose to use his fist to speak before anyone intervened. Block Captain shocked the rap community after the incident. The bad news was that there were rumors that Remy Ma had been close to another artist. That bond, Like her relationship with Easy, the block captain, didn't last long though, and it soon became apparent that her relationship with Papoose was beginning to fall apart too much to ignore. Even though Papoose chose to say nothing as the whispers continued, his deeds spoke louder than words, and he gradually started to turn away from Remy Ma. Fans are rooting for him in this new chapter. But let's not forget why this seems so serious. Papoose was the most devoted person to Remy Ma in her darkest hours. He married her over the phone while she was in jail and stayed committed to her for 6 years. Things get heated at this point. The fact that Papoose appears happier is the finest part. However, his new lover isn't just any woman, she's a boxing professional. You read right, she is capable of throwing hands. It seems that Papoose has finally had enough and is prepared to put himself first, despite what the streets may say. Papoose was the personification of loyalty and proudly embraced the label of black love in hip-hop following Remy Ma's release from prison. As a result, Papoose and the followers who applauded the release felt betrayed by Remy Ma's reported affair with a worker at their joint company. When she was first released, Papoose did everything he could to repair their lives, even if she didn't seem to appreciate it, and believed that their romance had left many individuals with poor taste and ruined the romanticized vision of black love. Fans praised Papoose for being a devoted husband who waited for his wife to return and stood by her side through everything. And he became the embodiment of fidelity from the moment Remy Ma was imprisoned. They were the ideal pair, proving that genuine love is resilient in the face of adversity. Throughout Remy Ma's 6-year prison term, Papoose publicly expressed his love and support for her. Following Remy Ma's release and their marriage, Papoose was by her side the entire time. Although their ties appeared to be unshakable, over time the foundation began to erode. When supporters who had long appreciated Papoose's loyalty were surprised to hear that he had moved on, things took a sharp turn. When Papoose was spotted out in public with a new woman, the rumors were quickly verified. However, this woman wasn't just any woman. She had a history of her own and appeared to fit into Papoose's public persona. The world watched in disbelief when Papoose, who was formerly renowned for his everlasting commitment to Remy Ma, disclosed that he was in a new relationship. The first things that came to mind were, was Papoose simply seeking something else? Or was there turmoil in paradise? Fans were divided as the media swiftly noticed the tension, and Remy Ma's response to the news was still unknown. Things rapidly got out of hand when Remy Ma found out about Papoose's new connection. Remy Ma, who is renowned for her no-nonsense approach, did not hold back, and a battle broke out between her and Papoose. It was not just the betrayal that hurt, but the public sight of it all. New lover and social media was ablaze with emotions as fans and celebrities observed the drama play out. Embarrassed and furious, Remy Ma vented her emotions in interviews and on social media. She responded angrily, not holding back in her criticism of Papoose's abrupt change of heart. After all the years she had been incarcerated and the sacrifices she had made for their love, it seemed to her like a total betrayal. When Papoose's new girlfriend and Remy Ma's altercation became viral, the internet turned into a battleground as the media began to cover every detail, closely examining every word and gesture from both sides. The situation only grew worse. Every action Papoose and Remy Ma took appeared to be closely watched by the public. Fans poured their thoughts onto Instagram, uploaded memes, and tweeted. Some fans believed that Papoose had every right to move on, especially given the lengthy years of separation, and celebrities added gasoline to the flames by weighing in on the issue. Others supported Remy Ma because they thought her devotion and hardships should have been honored. She wasn't just any woman, though. Her past seemed to run counter to Remy Ma's harsh exterior. The criticism also had to be handled by the new girlfriend who had unexpectedly found herself embroiled in this public conflict. How did she feel about the volatile situation, and who was she? Initially, a lot of people were curious about her past. She defended herself on social media, claiming that the rift between Papoose and Remy Ma was not her fault. Some viewed her as a homewrecker, while others felt sympathy for her. Her role in the drama was clearly difficult for the public to comprehend, and things only seemed to get worse. Once the epitome of unflinching devotion, Papoose found himself torn between two ladies who were vying for his loyalty and attention. It was no longer only about love. It was also about how his acts and image were perceived by the general public. His decisions were being questioned by fans, who questioned whether his recent connection was sincere or whether his emotional state was inconsistent with his public persona. It became evident that the fallout wasn't a one-time occurrence as the drama developed. It was a consequence of his issues with Remy, or if he had truly discovered something more fulfilling. On the other side, Remy was defending her honor. She made it apparent in interviews and public declarations that she would not tolerate Papoose's treachery. And the split was nasty. She made sure everyone knew that she was angry in addition to being heartbroken. The fact that their relationship was public and Remy was utilizing her platform to express her grief, vent, and criticize Papoose for his behavior made this more challenging. But underneath the rage was a woman who had suffered. Fans of Papoose and Remy were divided online, with each faction taking sides and posting their thoughts on social media. Some argued that love can wane with time, particularly after the stress of years apart, and supported Papoose's right to go on. Others stood by Remy, pointing out that she had stood by Papoose no matter what and didn't merit such a public disgrace. Everyone had an opinion in the contentious internet discussion. Love, loyalty, treachery, and the price of celebrity were no longer the main themes of Papoose and Remy's relationship. Once praised for their unity, the pair was now the subject of heated debates and widely shared memes. The media was unable to keep up with the frequent updates, interviews, and social media posts from both sides as the situation grew more serious over the course of the following few days. The new girlfriend was thrust into the center of the controversy. The formerly private connection was suddenly the subject of intense public scrutiny. How would she react to criticism? Would she try to save her reputation, or would she abandon the play altogether? Despite everything, Remy's reaction was unwavering. She was the woman who was scorned, seeking justice and respect, rather than the quiet wife who stood behind Papoose. What will happen to Remy and Papoose next? Is this the end of their romance, or will they ever be able to get back together? Fans are left wondering as the plot develops whether Papoose will rejoin Remy or whether his new relationship will be his future as Remy keeps fight for their former love. Or will she move on and focus on her work and personal goals? This narrative is far from over, and everyone is keeping an eye on Papoose and Remy's love triangle as it develops in the public light, anticipating the next development in this drama that has gone viral. For someone like 50 Cent, who battled his way to stardom with unyielding determination, family is a challenging thing, and his personal narrative is equally as intense as his ascent to fame. Few people are aware of the drama and heartache that accompany his family life, despite the fact that everyone knows him as a rap icon. Despite having two sons, 50 Cent has had a difficult connection with his eldest son, Marquise Jackson. The story of 50 Cent is far more complex than it first appears. When his then-girlfriend Sheena Tompkins gave birth to Maris in 1996, 50 Cent's real name Curtis Jackson became apparent. Everything appeared to be going smoothly at the time, but the family bond deteriorated along with their tumultuous relationship. Tension between 50 and Maris had already started to rise after a drawn-out and acrimonious custody dispute. And by the time the matter was finally settled in 2008, their father's son, Bond, was barely surviving when Mars was seen in a picture with the son of Kenneth Supreme Griff, a person associated with one of 50 Cent's most dangerous adversaries. In 2008, it was the last straw. When he was younger, he loved his father and thought he was superhuman. But as he got older, that all gave way to disillusionment. And by the time he was a teenager, their relationship had virtually vanished. 50 claims that their communication became a lawyer-mediated process because of their frequent disagreements with Tompkins and tumultuous court battles. 50C responded to the criticism of his hurtful remark by stating that he had provided financial help to mayors and that his rage was not motivated by hatred, but rather by profound disappointment. According to family members, mayors regularly caused trouble by deliberately doing things that irritated his father. To irritate him, he would post stuff online or hang around with individuals he didn't like. This snide social media post implied that he wouldn't care if he and McGriff's son were struck by a bus. In 2022, Mars made an attempt to gain his father's attention by offering $6,700 for a single day of his father's time, the same amount he had paid in child support each month. Maris stated that he only wanted to spend time with his father and that it wasn't about money, but 50 turned him down, saying that money couldn't fix a disrespectful relationship and that social media wouldn't be a part of a sincere effort to make peace. Later, Maris revealed that he had attempted to get in touch privately, but Maris is adamant about establishing himself in spite of the pain. Dropping songs and trying to break out from his father's shadow, he entered the music business. In contrast, 50 Cent's relationship with his younger son Sire seems closer, but it is also influenced by the challenges he has encountered during all of the ups and downs. Love, treachery, and the complexities that make family relationships so challenging to manage are all themes in the 1950s family story. He suffered because he was barred from social media and without his father's phone number. This is also true of 50 Cent's journey as a father and a son. He and Daphne Joy welcomed their second son, Sire, in September 2012. Although his relationship with Soar seems much closer than his turbulent relationship with his oldest son, things have not always been easy with Sire's mother, Daphne Joy. Daphne accused 50 of mistreating her on social media in March 2024, saying that the incident had destroyed her heart and any remaining faith in him. This reminds us that even the most successful people have personal problems, and sometimes those problems are serious. After a heated argument with Daphne in 2013, 50F was charged with domestic violence. Despite being accused of kicking her and causing damage to her property, he managed to escape severe repercussions. Although 50 Cent refuted the allegations, the public accusations further strained their already tense relationship. According to reports, 50 was attempting to obtain sole custody of Sire at this time. Daphne strongly refuted the claims that she was involved in adult business. The drama was plastered across newspapers and was no longer confined to courtrooms. 50 Cent is steadfast in his commitment to his legacy in spite of everything, particularly with regard to Sir. He made it clear in a recent interview that his youngest son will inherit all of his riches, stressing that whatever he has created will be Sir's to keep. Fans were impressed by his devotion to Sir, but many were curious about what had happened to his firstborn child, Mars. After entering a guilty plea to minor vandalism, he was sentenced to 3 years of probation and community service. In 2018, when Mars posted a photo of himself with Kenneth Supreme McGriff's son, it was one of the most dramatic moments in the ongoing conflict between 50 and Mars. McGriff is more than just a name to people who know 50's past. To them, he represents a dark chapter in the rapper's life. Seeing his son with the child of someone so closely associated with the 2000 shooting that nearly killed 50 was a breaking point for McGriff, who was reportedly involved in the incident, while 50 Cent was intent on fixing his broken body. 50's cold reaction to the photo made it brutally clear how far apart they had become. Fans are left wondering if there is any opportunity for healing as the story of a man who has been impacted by both tragedy and accomplishment is obscured by the headlines and platinum albums. Curtis Jackson was raised by a single mother who bravely battled to provide him with a better existence. Thus, he was more than just a product of Queens, New York. His world revolved on his mother, Sabrina Jackson, a hustler who was adamant about supporting her kid even if it meant being cautious in their South Jamaica, Queens neighborhood. Her power and determination were well known. And she made advances in life on the streets comes at a cost, but the world wasn't kind to women like her. Curtis was only 8 years old when Sabrina's life was brutally cut short in 1983. His mother was drugged, rendered unconscious, and had her flat set on fire in what police believed to be a homicide. 50 Cent's life will always be shaped by the eerie mystery surrounding her death, which has yet to be resolved. A pivotal moment in Curtis's life, the brutal and early death of his mother fueled his drive, ambition, and unyielding quest for achievement. But it also left wounds that, although 50 Cent's life has always revolved around his family, there have been heartbreaks and challenges along the way. In interviews, 50 Cent has discussed the terrible death of his mother, Sabrina Jackson, when he was just 8 years old. He recalls that someone placed something in her drink and turned on the gas, removing the one person who meant the world to him. Even as an adult, he admits that whenever life throws a curveball at him, he would assume that if his mother were around, things would not be how they are. In addition to being his mother, Sabrina was a strong, direct lady who made sure her son was ready for the hard world. According to 50, she was both firm and nurturing, always motivating him to get back up and keep trying. As a child and subsequently as a global citizen, her advice to get up, "What are you crying for?" stayed with him and influenced how he handled life's challenges. Fame? But following her passing.